Well, it is the last week that the sun will be in Cancer for the year. There are energies afoot that I have. I'm attempted to explain or expound upon a particular energy signature that begins this week. It's actually been in place for the whole weekend, but it becomes exact today. And how would you, perhaps struggle might be the term to best describe what I'm going through, trying to spin an option for how Mars and Uranus coming into exact conjunction today, Monday the 15th, can be seen differently than, probably a lot of people, might cower in the corner, waiting for this, energy to pass because of the potential for danger. Now, far be it from me to say that would not be the case. Yet there are options to, this Mars and this Uranus energy at work together in the sign of Taurus. And I think that in the sign of Taurus has a bearing on this that is definitely worth expounding upon or expanding upon. Now, everybody, is aware that Mars, the warrior planet, while there is some truth to that explanation for Mars, often one doesn't recognize that the reason, there's reason behind that Mars, warrior type energy. And it can also be seen that why Mars is, putting out that kind of dynamism in its expression is that Mars is also the protector. Often, from our masculine version of this life experience that is so predominant on the planet, it's seen as the warrior, not necessarily as the protector. It can be both, but you have to really live into a space within yourself to see that the protector version of Mars is there to assist in the containment of, a sense of what does it mean to make sure that something is kept safe. Now, Uranus. Unpredictability, fast changes that come out of nowhere. Yeah, I kind of like, they really aren't coming out of nowhere, and they can be abrupt. I would, definitely not be the first to say that, Uranus is going to be a slow change process. It's Uranus is, well, let's go into and see, why does this Uranus factor get portrayed as dynamic sudden changes? Well, let's see if we can, put a spin on that. Why does it seem like these changes are sudden when in actuality, all that Uranus is trying to do is it's trying to awaken us to something that we have not been likely paying attention to. And because of the fact that we heap on top of circumstances that we are not comfortable with, layers and layers of factors that, kind of like blankets, too many blankets onto this situation, that sometimes the experience that Uranus is trying to awaken us to requires, a jolt. And here with that Mars, the lightning energy, stimulating Uranus to wake up, perhaps the potential for discomfort when those blankets are blown off. Now, it could seem as if it were sudden if you were not aware of how many, layers you have laid on top of something that you should have been paying attention to. Oh, now there's a different way to look at it. And, as I was really sitting and debating, how best to portray this particular energy in Taurus, I definitely see Taurus as the energy of our connection to Mother Earth, to nature, to that land of resource. And I don't just mean physical resource. I'm talking also about energetic resource. So, are you, am I think I am aware that the resources that planet Earth represents at an energetic level are here for us to pay attention to. There's that Taurus factor putting in an appearance. And we go, where is Venus now? Oh, Venus is in Leo. Take a chance. That's us, a good line to portray with Leo. Taking chances, gambling, putting something out there, that may or may not be the most comfortable thing in the world, but there is a requirement with that Venus in Leo to take that chance. This is kind of what I'm doing this morning is I'm painting a different portrait of what it is that Mars-Uranus energy represents. Not something to be feared, not something to, run and hide from, but it's an opportunity for us to, perhaps still ourselves long enough to ask, what needs protection? And what is attempting to awaken us, awaken within us a version of the living experience with nature that we have perhaps been ignoring for, should I say, way too long? I do believe that fits. So let's call up a chart. Okay. Here we are. Oh, we're already on Tuesday. We already talked about Monday. That conjunction here at 26 degrees between these two planets of energy. Everything's energy. Venus over here in Leo, basically saying, perhaps you could, take that step that's been waiting to be taken. Now might be the appropriate time. Well, Tuesday brings a couple other factors in here. We're still, remember, the last week of Cancer. Sun's here in Cancer. Here we go. The moon. It's opposing this Uranus Mars conjunction from Scorpio. And the moon, the ruler of Cancer, is asking us from the scorpionic perspective, how in tune am I to the often hidden level of energies that are present, that are attempting to get my attention. And as if that wasn't really enough, on this very same day when the moon gets to 25 degrees of Scorpio, which it does rather rapidly, still in opposition to our Uranus Mars dance that's going on over there in Taurus, the moon is going to go out of bounds, and it will be out of bounds for the entire rest of the week. There's a Uranian essence to an out-of-bounds planet. This moon in Scorpio going out of bounds in exact opposition to that Uranus-Mars conjunction is, in Scorpio, saying, there is a deeper sense of purpose that is trying to awaken us to what the mysteries of life are attempting to awaken us to. Can you feel that? There's a good lunar term, feel. And where do you feel it from when in Scorpio? You feel it at your core. There's an essence there that says there are secrets that are awaiting you to awaken to. That's the function of Scorpio. And the cauldron is being stirred right now. What is it that we need to awaken to? What mysteries of this life dance of being a human here on planet Earth, at the same time trying to grow our soul awareness, that are so close to the surface this week? Pay attention, my friends. Ask some pertinent questions of yourselves and each other. If we look at this dance that goes on this week, Mars moves forward, and on Friday, actually Saturday, the 21st, let's see, Sunday, the whole rest of the week went by so quick. On this, actually, as Saturday becomes Sunday, Mars here is going to shift from Taurus into Gemini. See, there it is. And on this very same day, we have a full moon happening across 29 degrees Cancer to 29 degrees of Capricorn. What are we bringing into that full moon consideration right now? Well, we're bringing in Pluto, a planet that has a strong affinity with the sign of Scorpio, as does Mars, as the traditional ruler of Scorpio, And Mars is, it's in Gemini. There's an excitement that's in the air. So this particular full moon that happens on Sunday, from the Plutonic version, there at 1 degree of Aquarius, is as well stirring that cauldron of life, asking us, are you paying attention to what it is that's bubbling to the surface in this time that we're in right now? Do you feel perhaps a little unease that maybe there are, issues that are, showing up that, perhaps you didn't realize existed? Why? Were they hidden from us? Essay question. You need to answer that yourself. I have my version, but you have to have yours. Anyway, one other factor is on this very same day, Mercury over here at 26 degrees of Leo is slowing down, getting ready for its next retrograde cycle, which is going to happen soon. Anyway, Mercury is slowing down, but this is in a square to our Uranus over here in Taurus. Mercury. Stimulating those thoughts from that square version of, am I awake? Am I paying attention to what it is that is trying to get my attention? Have I been asleep to factors in play that could alter the trajectory of more than just my life? Life itself begs for us to awaken to a soul version of ourselves that has been trying to get our attention ever since we incarnated. Can you feel that? Remember, we're still in our moon phase, and this moon on Sunday, besides, full moon on the very same day, dances across Pluto. Do you feel? Do you sense? Are you aware that there are factors in play right now that are really begging us to wake up to? I think some meditation is in order so that we can tap into the core of our beings as we go through this week and ask pertinent questions from within. What is it that my soul, our soul, your soul actually came here on earth to accomplish? It's not an individual thing. There's a group soul that we're a part of that individually we must always keep to the fore. My growth is dependent upon your growth, because what we are growing toward requires a togetherness that can only be accomplished as we find a common ground to do this growth within. That's the sole purpose. Astrology, just a vehicle to put us in touch with conversations that are happening at a celestial level to, ask us, are you paying attention to these celestial messages that we're, as planetary beings talking about amongst ourselves? And asking you, are you being still enough to be able to hear what it is that the muses of life are attempting to awaken you to? That is what astrology is for. Stirring the cauldron, making a sound, a sonic energy that says, wake up. There's something going on that you are participating in. Do you know it? That's all I'm going to do for this week. And if anybody is interested in finding out where your chart, your celestial soul dance, is attempting to awaken you, tap in. You might be surprised at what the language of the celestial areas have to say to you about you in an attempt to awaken parts of you that perhaps have slumbered too long. Let's go, people. Let's awaken. Something new is requiring us to be awake now. Do the dance. See you all next week.